Behind me here, I've lined up all our TonePrint-enabled pedals. A couple of years ago, we released the TonePrint series to the world, and the TonePrint concept, which basically were allowing famous guitar players to design their own custom pedals, and then allowing you, the users, to download those sounds and put them into your own TonePrint pedals, was a huge success around the world. Along with that came tons and tons of requests on forums, Facebook channels, you name it, from our users saying, can we please get the TonePrint editor for ourselves? And well, that day has come now. The TonePrint editor, in a nutshell, allows you to customize your own delay pedal, your own reverb pedal, your own chorus pedal, and so on, exactly the way you like it. So you can change tons of hidden parameters inside the pedal. You can customize the knob settings, what the knobs do, and pretty much anything to design your customized dream pedal.
Hello everyone out there on the interwebs. This is a Guitar Center Music Mentor Series webinar. We're here at the lovely Drum Channel facilities, and we're with TC Electronic. We're going to be talking about the Hall of Fame Mini Reverb pedal, and we're going to be talking about the TonePrint software. And without further ado, here is Laura Davidson.
Thank you very much. Here we are. We're going to have a wonderful conversation. You took my word away. I was going to say, welcome people from the interwebs. But I'm going to say that again anyway, because welcome. This is a really unique experience for us to do this and talk to you and have some one-on-one time with an amazing guitarist. We're joined by Paul Gilbert. I know, he's right here. I can't believe it myself. And Tor Monsen, who is a genius in his own right. But my name's Laura Davidson. I'm the marketing manager for TC Group Americas, among other things. And Tor is the genius behind several of our products, namely the Polytune, first and foremost, which is a polychromatic tuner. It lets you tune all 6 guitar strings at once, which is revolutionary. And also the TonePrint pedals. He came up with this idea. It's insane. It lets you, well, we're going to get into that a little bit later. It lets you design your own custom signature sounds or use your favorite artist sounds. But first, I want to introduce Paul Gilbert. He really needs no introduction, but why don't you just play something for us? Let's start it off that way.
All right, I have a rhythm guitar player that I invented right here. I'm gonna get that going. I'm ready to rock.
That'll work. That's a good way to start things off. Wow, this is going to be awesome. All right, so Paul's here because we're going to work on creating a TonePrint live. For those of you who don't know why you're here, in addition to...
I'm here because I like reverb.
Yeah, I like reverb too. That's a kind of a cool added bonus. But
and I also like not so many knobs.
Yeah, not so many knobs is an added bonus.
The two don't always go together.
They don't.
But in this case, they do. We've got
really do.
a reverb and 1 knob. That's very comforting for my little brain.
That's, that's good. The Hall of Fame Mini. That's what we're here to talk about as well. Our brand new product. But who is TC Electronics? Some of you might not even know that. So that's my job, because I'm the marketing manager. So, you know, I'm going to do my spiel. Sorry. So
steer the ship. Let me know when you need some notes.
No, yeah, we need lots of notes.
Okay.
The more notes, the better. If you just do that, yeah, that's actually way more entertaining. But I got to do this. All right. So we were founded in 1976 in Denmark, which not many people know where that is. So that's cool in and of itself. But it was founded by 2 brothers, the Rishoy brothers, because they found out that there were some chorus pedals that were noisy, and they didn't like that. So they made their own.
I brought my TC chorus along.
I love that about you. He happens to have the stereo chorus flanger, which is still made today.
The first time I heard about this was the bass player in my first successful band, Racer X. And he had one of these that he used on bass.
Cool.
And I borrowed it from him, and I had one ever since.
You stole it, didn't you?
But I keep finding new sounds. I found this like kind of Leslie sound. And I was using that for the rhythm part, you know, when I was. It's got all the things that make your face go.
Yes.
Oh, I missed the pedal, sorry. There we go.
That comes with the pedal. That's an unspoken feature. We didn't list that on the box, but yeah, you get rock and roll faces.
It's in the manual.
It is in the manual. It's a hidden feature.
But anyway, that's I remember that, and I've still got one.
Excellent.
But continue on. I'm sorry to interrupt.
No, please interrupt. This is a webinar. That's what webinars are. People want to chit chat and watch it and see what's going on, because you can follow along at home.
That's just the beginning of the story. There's the long. We got to make it all the way up to the reverb so we can get cooking with that thing.
That's the story. We made the SCF pedal, and here we are. Fast forward, you know, several years later, the SCF pedal is still a great pedal that we make today. But now we have Tor on board, and he's been on board for quite a few. How long have you been with TC?
Oh, 12 years or something.
12
like that.
years.
Yeah.
All right. So the tone print concept. That's what we're here to talk about mainly, because it's something unique to TC Electronic. And it's basically a way of getting your favorite artist sounds into our pedals instantly, either using our TonePrint app, which we're going to show you in just a second, or the TonePrint editor, which is why we're really here, to show you how to create your own TonePrint. And Paul's going to create one for us live.
And you're going to show me how to do it too.
Yes, we're going to show you how to do it. In fact, we're going to actually show you how to beam a tone print right now.
Oh yeah,
using an iPhone. So a tone print is a signature artist sound that you can swap in and out of your pedal on a whim, at a gig, at your house, whatever you want.
So it's kind of like the invisible knobs that aren't here. That's
yes.
You just have to deal with once, and then you get the one knob that is good for live when you don't want to
exactly.
Right,
exactly.
which is important to mention, because tone prints aren't just a simple tweak of a knob and storing it like a preset. I mean, it really is an under-the-hood full tweak, which you'll see in the editor, where you can really edit parameters that nobody ever has been able to before. Yeah. So, but we also have many, many tone print artists, and this is a contest for you guys to play along with at home. So if you can tell us how many tone print artists we have, you can win a signed Hall of Fame mini pedal that Paul is going to sign at the end of the webinar. So that's very important. How many tone print artists do we have? And you can send your answers to info@drumchannel.com. info@drumchannel.com. So throughout the webinar, think about it, be pondering, send your answer in, and we will choose a winner magically at the end of the webinar, which is really exciting. So we have several tone print artists, but let's show how you can beam a tone
We're going to
print.
get in there?
We're going to
open up the hood?
We're going to do it.
Okay.
So first we're going to try just beaming a tone print. So that's changing the sound of this pedal that's on a hall setting right now.
I've got a question before we start. You pull this out of the box.
Yeah.
And is that the sound that it has right now?
That's the sound you get right out of the box.
Can we hear what that sounds like?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so this is in the effects loop of the amp, which is, if I play with distortion, I think it sounds better when it's in the effects loop.
Yeah, definitely.
So what I'm going to do, since we're going to adjust this, I'm going to crank it up probably louder than I would normally have the reverb, because this is like the reverb level.
Yeah.
That way we can sort of tell what we're doing. So there we go. So that's a nice sounding reverb already. And the way to test out reverb is to do that, to play like one note and stop.
Yeah.
Okay, so I like that already. But in case I want to like it more,
we do something else.
now we do something else.
Yeah.
Okay, now continue.
So I picked a reverb that's like a pretty big exaggerated reverb with some modulation, like some.
This is a crazy one.
That's a crazy one, just so you can hear the difference. So that will work for certain things.
And you're going to beam it in?
Yeah, so basically we have this free app that allows you to change any of the tone prints that we have by beaming them into the pedal. So that's basically sending a weird noise magnetically into the pickup.
Into the pickup, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So on the guitar, I should select this pickup.
Yeah, or any one, just one of them.
Okay, well, I'm going to select this one. And then I turn the volume up. Does that matter?
That definitely matters.
Oh, definitely matters. Okay, the volume's up.
Yeah, so it has to go into the pedal, and we want to make sure that your A/B thing is on the right one.
Okay.
So we do this.
I can hear it sizzling.
I'll try again. I made noises here.
I talked in the middle of it, messed it up.
No, that doesn't matter actually.
And there you go.
There we go.
Now try.
Okay, so now in theory, this should be a totally different reverb.
Yeah.
Let's see if that's.
Really a different reverb.
The beaming worked. That's amazing. Let's hear it again. Okay, now, okay, so I'm going to let you continue on from there.
Yeah, so I mean, we change it to something, and we have all these different artists and all these TC sounds. So if you want to prefer to have like, you know, old school blues guys, maybe want to have a spring reverb or a plate reverb, we can change it to that.
Is there an old school blues guy in there that we can?
I don't think we have any of the old school blues guys, but I can find a string reverb.
Oh, well, Oddly Freed, he's kind of cool because he plays with the Black Crows, which is sort of
but he didn't
blues
do
style.
he didn't do a reverb one. He did like a.
Okay, well, who do you recommend?
I'd say let's just try the TC Spring one.
Okay.
Can we do that?
I like Spring, so I'll turn up my volume again.
Yeah.
Okay, beam that thing in there.
There we go.
Okay, so here's the Spring. But I'm going to turn up this a little bit because that's a more subtle reverb. That sounds great. So for a Spring, you know, if I want to like do my Johnny Cash set.
Yeah.
Engine down the station. But that sounds nice, even for the, you know, I've still got a rock sound here, so. Open up the door. Yeah. So I like that one. That could be. We may not even need to do my signature one because I'm happy with that.
We're done. Just
Done.
Yeah.
Okay, that's nice already. Okay, but in case I do want to get in there and tweak.
Yeah. Then we have the editor software, and you know, as we talked about before about the actual pedal, it's really really simple. There's one knob, which is like all the classic reverbs that you know
just
from
relaxes
amps.
me and makes me be able to sleep at night.
Yeah. So, you know, with the TonePrint stuff, you have the option of going, well, I don't really want to tweak all these parameters. I just want to grab like a cool artist one or one of the ones that TC've done.
But then one day you get stuck in your studio, you're locked in, you can't get out, you got to do something.
Yeah. Or maybe you go, well, I really like this particular reverb, but it's just a little too bright or it's a little too dark.
Yeah.
So, you know, what you can do with the editor is basically up to you. You can do small tweaks just to kind of suit your particular need, or you can go totally crazy. That's up to you. So let's just try to dig into this. So I'm going to pick the editor software over here. So that's a different page here. And there's a ton of stuff in here. It looks a little bit frightening to begin with.
Okay. Well, I know I've tweaked a little bit of reverbs in my time.
Yeah.
But definitely, let me just take a look and see if I know what any of these do.
And we should say, too, that people can follow along at home and watch what you guys are doing. So if you want to switch the camera angle and watch just the editor, so you can see the parameters, you can switch that, which
and I'll
is really
try to
cool
see if
through
I
the
can
player.
kind of point at things here while we talk about them.
So I'm just going to start. Well, do you suggest I start at these top things? Those are what draws my eye.
Yeah, so basically, I mean, I think the main thing to consider, first of all, is what kind of reverb you like. So there's like springs and halls and rooms and stuff. So over here, we've done these different, we call them, it's kind of templates. So it's a starting point.
Well, you know what I should do is before deciding what my favorite is there a way to just sort of scroll through the main ones?
We can scroll through them and listen to them.
Yeah.
So I'll do that. So let's...
How many main ones are there? About 15 or so?
Oh, there's a lot of different ones here. So...
Hacienda.
Yeah.
I just like the way that sounds. It's a good word.
So let's start out from the top. So the ambience.
I'm going to go with your recommendations because we may not have time for all of them.
Okay, let's go with the spring one first.
You know what I play like, so yeah, spring is good.
So I'll crank it up a bit so you can hear it.
Okay. Okay, and of course I can always still tweak this as I'm doing it, right?
Always, yeah. So it has a little bit of that kind of twangy stuff at the tail.
I like
so
that one.
If you want something a little more natural, we could try out the hall.
Okay.
So this is sort of the thing that the pedal is born with when you get it right out of the box.
Oh, right, yeah. That's a little more girthy.
Yeah.
Let me turn that down a little bit to see. Now, you know, I have one way of testing all pedals, and that is to see if I start playing better because of a certain setting. And I played much better at that one somehow.
So
So I may gravitate towards that. Of course, I'm used to that because that's what I've been using anyway in my studio.
But that's cool.
Yeah.
Another one of the classic one, of course, is the plate one.
Okay.
So we can try that out.
Yeah.
It's funny you're playing that because all those classic Van Halen stuff is actually done with his guitar on one side in the recordings and then a plate reverb on the other side. So it's,
I could feel the edginess. So probably the main, well, I don't know if let's listen to a couple more before we get into tweaking, because I've got one tweaking idea, but I'll save it until the time is right.
So one of the other things we can do with the editor is we can actually add modulation to the reverb.
All right.
So modulation is basically chorus or vibrato, things that go like twirly stuff. And we can add that to the reverb tail only. So not on the guitar, the dry guitar signal, only on the reverb tail. So let's try to do that.
What's it? That's the mod one.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Play good too.
Yeah.
A lot of good ones in there. That's I haven't really messed around with the modulation ones before, but that's nice.
No, it's actually kind of nice.
It I mean, because right now, I mean, I've got the reverb up a lot.
Yeah.
You know, in real life, I probably wouldn't have it up that high. But one of the things with reverb or delays is you have to make sure it doesn't fight your original signal. And even cranked up that much, I think maybe the modulation stays out of the way because it's different.
Yeah.
So it doesn't clash with the original as much.
No, and you're actually when you're using reverb, at least yesterday when we were at your studio, you were having that pedal on the amp because you never turn it off. It's just...
Yeah, I just leave it on all the time once I get the sound I want. Because it gives me the, the sonic environments that I'm comfortable in.
So it's more of it's a part of your core tone or what part of the main tone that you have.
Yeah, absolutely.
So obviously you don't want it to be too,
overwhelming.
Yeah, there's pedals you step on and it goes like, and then there's the pedals
you turn it off.
like,
but this is sort of, once you get it, you set it all the time.
Yeah.
It just makes you, it's like a comfy chair.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've got a question about, well, are there any more we should look at before I start asking tweak questions?
No, let's
start tweaking?
Yeah, let's do that.
So
unless there's something you wanna hear.
Let's go back to the plate for a second.
Yeah.
I certainly like my Van Halen. And now, when I get, now that I'm going to get into the controls, I might mess it up completely because I'm not necessarily an expert reverb editor. But the thing that I want to try is the pre-delay.
Yeah.
Because, I'm assuming, well, what is it set at right now? Is it just the reverb happening basically the same time as the original signal, or is it pre-delayed slightly?
It's pre-delayed slightly.
And how much is it now?
25 milliseconds.
Okay, so that's very slightly.
Yeah.
And let's hear what that sounds like again. Let me do like a. Now, what happens if? What would you suggest would be the most radical pre-delay we could go before it gets stupid?
I think the maximum we can crank it to here is 100 milliseconds.
Okay, let's just
so
see what that is.
Almost like a slapback.
Yeah, so.
Like that.
did too. So, I mean, they're both nice. It's sort of a subtle thing. What would you say is the most radical? What am I going to notice the most in all these things that we can tweak?
Well, I think the most radical things you can do is either add the modulation stuff, because that can get like warpy to the point where it's basically totally off pitch.
Yeah.
So that's one part of it. The other part of it that I think is you can go pretty extreme and change the character of the reverb a lot is with the EQ stuff. So you can make it darker or brighter depending on what you like.
And also I mentioned is the decay like how long it lasts?
Yeah. So we can. I mean, let's just for the fun of it, let's just crank it up.
Okay.
So now it's 20 seconds.
20 seconds. Oh my goodness. So I got to be careful because whatever I do, I got to live with for a while. Do just a big E power chord.
Yeah.
You save that up for the last.
Yeah. And then you crank up the mix, and then. Yeah.
Now, how short would you go with that and have it still sound like a reverb?
I think within a second, it's not gonna sound as much like reverb as much as just kind of like a bit of ambience to the guitar sound.
Right. So then I'm gonna turn up a little bit. That still sounds nice though. I like that. That foreigner tune I was playing. That kind of reminds me of that kind of thing. So where was the start? I didn't pay attention to where it was when we began.
The decay was around 4 seconds.
Okay, so let's hear that. To me, that's kind of radical.
Yeah.
The difference between 1 second and 4 seconds. I can really tell a difference. And I suppose the decision I have to make as the guitar player is whether I want to have my amount of reverb feel come from adjusting that, or come from just adjusting the overall volume of the reverb. So let me mess around with that a little bit.
But there's a part to that, because one of the other things we can do with the editor, right now we're kind of messing around with the parameters, which, once we leave them, they're kind of fixed.
Yeah.
But we have the knob here, and right now it's controlling the overall effects level.
Yeah.
But you can actually assign it to any of the parameters you see over here. So what you could do, if you wanted to, is you could go, well, if I turn this knob down, I want shorter decay time as well as shorter mix or effects level.
So if the loop in my amp has a level on it, then I can just use that for the level and then have this.
You can have it do both at the same time. So it can actually control both the effects level and the decay. So when you crank it up to get that big sound, you add both decay and effects level at the same time.
Okay.
So one knob can do up to 3 different things at the same time.
Oh my goodness.
We should show that, because that's one of my favorite features.
I can do that. So let's say you want that kind of short. Decay that we did before, where it's almost like a little slapback or something like that. So you want that when you back the decay.
So that's on there now?
So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to enable the second effect parameter here.
Okay.
I'm going to pick the decay. So now I assigned the decay to this knob as well.
So it's doing both.
And this weird line up here is actually representing the knob. So over here is the minimum position of the knob.
Right.
Here is like, 10, 11 o'clock. Yeah. This is noon. This is, 3 o'clock, something like that. And this is cranked. So what I can do is I can go, well, maybe you want the maximum decay time to be, say 7 seconds, just for trying it out. And then we can go and kind of make a nice curve going down all the way here. And then what we want for the minimum one would be, let's see if I can grab that one. So
that way, as you do the volume, you can adjust
where
this
falls. Same time. So now when I'm turning the knob, you'll notice that both the decay and the, where is it? The effects level.
So as I turn this, I can watch it change on there?
Yeah, so you'll see this one is moving, and the decay is moving at the same time. And you can also see it up here. So now you're controlling 2 things at the same time.
Yeah.
So you can try to see the difference, what it sounds like.
So let's see. It's kind of sane. A little more. funny how reverb makes me play differently. I really do kind of relax and go, ooh, I can be smooth now. When it's super dry, it's like I kind of want to put shorter endings on my notes.
Yeah.
So it's nice to have some inspiration from that. Let me turn it back up. I want to get long again. Okay, so I mean, I don't know if we've got, we've got the time. The clock is turning.
Yeah,
so
we
I don't know if
have
we have
some
to go
time
off
yet.
of this.
Plenty of time.
Okay, so Dynamics mode.
Yeah, so how do I
You
explain
just put that in there because it sounds
Yeah,
cool.
it sounds cool, right?
Yeah.
So you
Is that
will-
actually dynamics? Like,
yeah,
like
so
as you play harder?
It's kind of like a compressor, only it's not compressing the guitar signal, it's compressing the reverb.
Which is so the signal doesn't fight the original.
Yeah, so while you're playing, you can set it both two ways. So you can set it so that while you're playing, it lowers the reverb signal a little bit, and when you stop playing, it goes like whoosh.
Yeah.
Or you can do the opposite. So while you're playing, it's a wash of reverb, and when you stop, it's like...
So right now it's off.
Yeah, so we can try to turn it on.
Let's turn it on.
Yes, let's do that. So we turn it on, and positive or inverse. So
Okay, I think I want the positive where it brings it. I'm assuming that's the one where the reverb comes on when I stop playing.
yeah, exactly.
So while I'm playing, like magic. Nice. Doesn't fight the original signal. Let's see. So I'm doing my.
So it's like, yeah.
That makes me want more. Wow. And okay, so that's that. I might go back to the original though.
Yeah, let's try that. I'll just turn it off again.
I want all the reverb all the time. And what else? So I know what the decay does.
Yep.
Or no, I would know what the pre-delay is
delay.
how much before,
Yeah.
the decay is how long it goes.
Then we have something called diffusion, and that's basically how the reverb tail sounds. So it can get like grainy or granular, or it can be really smooth. And it's a kind of a subtle thing.
Right.
So right now it's like set happy, medium, in between.
Right.
So depending on whether you want it like nice and smooth, you can go more in in this direction. If you want it like really granular and
Yeah. Let's see. So this is the grainiest diffusion setting. Sounds all right. And we turn it up all the way to hear the difference.
it's a little smoother. Yeah.
It's hard for. I'm gonna let you decide. I'm gonna go anywhere from the middle to the smooth.
Okay. Well, let's try to keep it around this. Point.
Okay.
I like the smooth.
We'll go the
one.
full
Yeah,
smooth.
yeah.
That's nice. And then
So now we have, this is the EQ section.
Okay.
So this is the low end frequencies
Right.
that you can either boost or cut. So we can try just to increase it just to see here. So here's, where it was originally.
yeah,
Here.
kind of in the middle.
Yeah.
Okay. So then this will probably react more if I do like a.
So now I'll try to crank it up. And then we can try to thin it out.
Yeah. So it cleans it up a little bit. That's hard for me to decide because I kind of like the girthiness of the low, but I think it's there's a little more room for it when it's not as low.
Yeah. Well, we can try to find some place where you think that it's the best of both worlds. I guess.
Well, the test is see which one makes me play the best.
Let's
So what am I going to play? Let's see. How about? That was all right.
So that we can do it, make
Yeah, that was all right.
back down.
Yeah.
Mistake. Let's put it back up. I played better when it was up there. That's how we decide. When I don't make a mistake, that's the setting.
So now we can do the same thing for the high-end frequencies.
Okay.
So we can make it. This is where it was originally, and this totally depends on what kind of the basic reverb that you picked, the algorithm you picked to begin with.
All right.
But right now it's because it's a plate one. Typically, there's a lot of high-end frequencies. So I'll just this is the original setting. If you try to listen to that.
Okay. So we have, let's see.
We can crank it up and get it even more trebly. And then we can go really dark.
Oh, they're all kind of nice. That's the hardest kind of choices when everything is good. Let me play a little more with the dark one, just because it's new. Let's see. How about?
Should I take it up a notch?
Yeah, okay. I'll go for a recommended low, relatively high cut setting.
Yeah.
Let's see. How about? Okay, and let's crank it back up a bit.
Yep.
Do my Def Leppard first album guitar solo on the Volcano solo. And let's take it back down again. One more Def Leppard on that. I don't know if it was Pete Willis or Steve Clark who played that. I don't know. I mean, it's subtle and they're all kind of nice.
Yeah.
But I'm going to go for the treblier one though. That's what it was originally, and I was happy there.
It was quite high actually. It's around here.
Yeah. Sometimes it's just good as it is.
Yeah.
Oh. That's fine.
Cool. So the next one is the high factor, and that's basically it sits on top of the high color, so it's a way to add even more high-end frequencies if you want to.
So like maybe the high is like a treble. This is like a presence.
Yeah. So.
And was that all the way down?
Yeah, that was all the way down.
Oh.
So we can try to crank it up. Just to
let's see.
that. Now it's going to be cymbals kind of thing.
Let's see. Put it all the way back down and see if we can hear the difference. Okay, we're coming to the limitations of my ears.
It's a subtle thing.
Yeah. And but I'm only going to leave it where it is again. I think that was good.
So next up we have some modulation stuff. So this is basically a vibrato. So it's bending the entire reverb tail.
Right.
And there's actually two modulation parts. So there's the one that's built into the reverb algorithm, and then on top of that we have an entire modulation block with flangers and choruses and vibratos.
Does that mean that this can be transformed into a chorus, or
it can be transformed into a chorus because it only adds it to the reverb signal.
Okay.
But it's going to sound like something that's pretty close to a chorus.
Right.
If we do have a delay pedal called the flashback delay, and you can transform that into a chorus if you have a little bit of effect savvy and you know how to make a chorus.
Do some tweaking.
Yeah. Or you can download a tone print that actually transforms it into a chorus for you.
But the recommended thing is, we'll turn it on and see what happens.
So I'll just exaggerate it a little bit so
we can
certain. So the rate is how fast the modulation is going, and the depth is how wide it's going. So now it's cranked up pretty crazy.
TC pedal on at the same time. No hangover in the morning.
No, it's like wobbly, seasick kind of thing.
That's cool though.
But you can add a little bit of that, and it's
So it gives it a color.
Yeah, so we can try to do that.
Yeah. So how much is a little? Like right now it's sort of in the middle of where it would be. Let's see. I made a mistake, so we got to change the setting.
Yeah.
I'm blaming it on the gear.
Yeah. So
It can't be me.
no, obviously not. So we back it down a bit more.
Okay, let's try that. You fixed it.
Yeah.
That's much better. Okay, so that's that one. That's cool.
So we can either turn that on or off, depending on whether you actually like that.
Let me listen to it one more time.
It's very slow now. It's
Yeah.
like kind of, this very long wave.
The modulation depth, when it says -9, is that actually 9 cents, or is it just,
No,
just 9 out
nine
of 100?
somethings, yeah.
I kind of like it. Let's leave it on
Let's
there for
keep
now.
it on. Okay, so
We did the dynamic thing.
yeah. So now the last two ones are something called early reflections and the reverb.
Okay.
And early reflections is what you get in a reverb right when you play something and it hits, a virtual wall.
Okay.
You get something called early reflections, which is like the very first impression
Yeah.
of the reverb, and then you have like the tail coming in. And this basically allows you to have a match between the two. What I have to say about that is it's, depending on what you pick, whether you pick a plate or a spring,
It's going to act differently?
it's going to act differently. And we kind of set it up so that when you choose any of those templates, it's pretty good to keep it in that range. Otherwise, it's going to change the sound of the reverb
I'll
quite a
take
lot.
your word for it.
So, I mean, you can play around with that. It's,
Yeah.
it's...
I remember in like the first reverb I got, 20 or 30 years ago was this thing with all these parameters in it. And whenever I messed around with that one, it would always, I'd mess it up.
But you can hear just for the fun of it, we can actually
okay.
change the reverb.
Don't
tail.
forget where it is now.
No, this is cranked up all the way now. So I'll just crank it all the way back. So what you're hearing now is actually just the early reflections of the reverb.
Let's I'm trying to remember.
Crank up the
It kind of reminds me of the if you were doing the Phil Collins drum solo.
Oh, yeah, exactly, yeah.
I can't remember the name of the song. I can feel it coming
Yeah.
in the air tonight.
Yeah,
It has
exactly,
to-
yeah.
So it's if I was a drummer,
Yeah, you
and
do that
I
kind
wanted
of
to live
thing,
in the '80s, that would be a fantastic thing.
And who wouldn't?
Yeah.
So I'll back that up, back up again.
Okay.
But it gives you an idea of what it does.
Okay.
So
now
now
we're
we're
back to-
actually...
Cool. Back to my comfort zone.
So now we're kind of through the reverb parameters. So there's a few of them, but it's not that intimidating. You just
Yeah.
got to wrap your head around what it does. And then,
Well, the main ones I usually want to tweak are the decay,
yeah,
just how long it is,
Yeah.
and what is it? The pre-delay,
Yeah.
how long
Yeah.
long there is before it happens.
yeah. I've been doing a few tone prints with some guitar players where they actually want to move the pre-delay along with the decay because, shorter rooms means shorter pre-delays. And
Oh,
then-
right.
So you actually kind of mix it to the room or match it to the room or something like that.
Yeah.
So down here we have the modulation block, and that's actually taking, basically that pedal down there,
wow.
which does, chorus, flanger, and vibrato,
Yeah.
and adds it to the reverb tail. So you can pick any of the different.
So I thought we already had some modulation.
Yeah, there's a bit of modulation going on here, but just to go over the top, I guess, we added this block as well.
Okay, so I can do 2 modulations?
If you want to, or we
Well,
can turn that one off.
Why don't we turn that one off so
Yeah.
we hear
Yeah.
this one on its own?
So, and there's different styles. I can just start out by just basically mixing it in so you can hear what it does. So
Yeah,
the
we can
first
make it-
one we have is a tri-chorus. I'll turn it on. So it's pretty warpy right now. Well, judging by the playing, that kind of works.
Yeah, exactly. When it feels good, it feels good. Let me hear that again. That's cool. So what did you do?
I just added some tri-chorus, which is basically three of these choruses running at the same time with different speeds, so it gets all wobbly.
Yeah. Well, I grew up in the wobbly era.
Yeah.
You know, listening to Robin Trower and Frank Marino and Alex Lifeson, and they all had the
that kind
that
of
sort of
univibing
thing going on. So
Bridge of Sighs.
That's my world.
Kind of classic. So we
what
can
do
go.
we think? Are we close?
Yeah, we're pretty close.
We're close? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm dying to know what Paul's going to call this thing, too. That's my...
Oh, yeah, that's another thing.
I'll have to title it.
Yeah.
You do. You have
I
to
used up one of my best titles on the, I think it was the chorus last time.
I don't know. You said it doesn't get better than this earlier. I thought that was pretty cool for a reverb title.
That's a good one.
That's what you said about leaving it
Yeah,
on
like-
all the time. It doesn't get better than this. Like, okay.
The chorus was Otis.
Otis Feels Good.
Yeah.
Yes, that's...
Best blues name ever.
Yeah, when I evolve into a wrinkly blues man, I want to change my name to Otis Feels Good.
That's cool. I remember, when we did the tone print in Aarhus, you checked into the hotel as Humanity.
Oh yeah,
Kind of like that. I was like, I'm here to pick up Paul Gilbert. There's nothing like that
Mr.
here.
Manatee.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
So yeah, that's the tri-chorus. I think we have time just to try out one more, but basically there's all these different types of modulations, of flangers. So we can
I'll
try
go
that
with the tri-chorus. I like that.
Okay, cool. So I'll pick that one. And tons of other parameters that you can tweak.
Yeah.
But if you like that
Sounded
sound,
pretty good. I was digging that.
so if you're happy with the pedal as it is right now, we can actually just store it. And of course, we can load it into the pedal down here. It's actually already in there, but what I want to do
just
is
to make it
store it
official.
to pedal so that when you unplug the power and you put it back in,
It's still in there.
stays there.
Which
and
is
then,
a new feature as of what?
And
Today?
yeah.
Roughly.
No, storing to pedal has been there all the time, but what you can also do is you can store it to the hard drive of the computer, so that if you decide suddenly, well,
Or if you want to A-B it to some other ones.
I must have been on drugs when I did this. I want to change it a little bit. You can do that.
I wasn't on drugs when I did it, so I wanted to.
So
Okay, so let's store to pedal.
store it to pedal. And then we can also store it to the hard drive.
Have it in 2 spots.
Yeah. So I'll make a new entry. And now is the time to come up with the amazing name.
Well, let me test it out and get this knob set out right. So I'm gonna go back to my original rhythm guitar part that I've got in my TC Ditto looper. Turn that down a little bit. Just call it, oh, that's nice. What should we call it? It's probably took me longer to think of the appropriate title than it did for us to program.
I already saved it as, oh, that's nice.
Oh, that's nice. I'm happy with that. Because that's
that.
exactly how I'm feeling when I play with it. Just, oh, that's nice.
I was listening to you playing and I went like, oh, that's nice. So it works for me too.
It's the OTN
Yeah.
to go with the HOF.
Yeah. Perfect.
And I have to, it just came to me, the pun I had yesterday, which is the one, I mean, I'm very proud to endorse the Hall of Fame HOF pedal, But really, Susanna Hoffs from the Bangles.
Should have been.
She should be here. You know, it's the Hoff pedal. You know, so
Yeah.
So I got to play a little bit of the only Bangles song I know.
That's a really great tune.
Yeah, and it sounds good with the reverb, but
Yeah.
but she could make her own.
Wow.
I'd be happy if she's watching this.
If she-
somewhere.
Yeah.
Susanna, oh Susanna,
Please call us
please
up.
call. It could be the
Yeah.
Oh Susanna reverb
Yeah.
set. But I'll let her come up with her own. Anyway,
goodness.
thanks for navigating me through that.
Well, thanks for taking the time and coming up with something really great.
I like it.
And that hopefully gave some of you guys at home a chance to follow along and see how you can use it, because now people at home can make their own,
Now, just-
starting from, oh, that's nice.
Yeah. Now just to review it, so somebody takes this out of the box, and they want the oh that's nice setting. What's step one? What do they do?
Well, basically, they either download the editor to their computer. It's free, works from Mac and PC,
From tcelectronic.com.
from tcelectronic.com,
By the
or
way.
they download the iPhone and Android app, and
Yeah.
they can beam it in like I did at the beginning of this little show here.
Which is the
So you
TonePrint
download the app, and then it's sort of obvious where to go.
Yeah,
or
you can
there's like
sort
a menu
by-
of all different ones.
Yeah, so you can sort through artists, and you can sort through what pedal do I have, or
Right.
there's tons of ways to find the artist that you want. So in this case, you will scroll down to Paul Gilbert
Yeah.
and pick oh that's nice and do the beaming thing.
Yeah.
which will be in the app hopefully within the next few days. It's
Yeah.
not there yet. Obviously, we just created it,
Yeah.
but
it's going
it
to
will
be
be
there
there
soon, really
Okay.
soon. And last but not least, come beginning of November, you'll also be able to do this thing from an iPad.
Oh, cool.
So you can do both the beaming thing, not the beaming thing, but you can do the transfer, and you can do the editing on a touchscreen as well
Yeah.
on the iPad.
Okay. So what's next? Do we have any time left?
we
Yeah.
do. I can't believe how fast time went by, actually. It's kind of crazy. And there's probably still a little bit of time left, I think, if you want to enter the contest to win the HOF Mini. So the question again was, how many TonePrint artists do we have? And if you answer that correctly, then you can win the pedal. So
Okay.
go to info, or send us an email, info@drumchannel.com to enter. But right now, we're going to get our questions and answers started. That's the next portion. So.
Okay. My first question is, how did you guys make this awesome ditto looper? Because I've had so much fun playing with this thing. But anyway, let's get to these.
Yeah, let's see what people want to know. I'm curious too.
Is that it? Should I read that off the screen?
No, I think
Yeah.
Are you going to be the man?
Well, I'll do it.
The virtual questioner?
Yeah. Well, they're interested to know what are the specs on your guitar,
It's got 6 strings,
right? That's good. Good
and
start.
I love it like as much as I do my little kitten. And I just got it a couple days ago from the Ibanez Custom Shop. It's
Looks
of
great.
course, it's an Ibanez Fireman, and it's got a flame maple top, mahogany back, and I love it so much that I'm not going to give it to anyone. Come on.
Pickups?
I'm sorry?
Your pickups?
Pickups are DiMarzio Air Classics on the outside and an Area 67 in the middle.
And you have a 5-way switch there?
A 5-way switch, which does the usual sort of thing. Really, the only tricky thing that I did that's sort of mysterious is I'm experimenting with having the tone knob only working on position, whatever. I don't know if this is 5 or if it's
Right.
1. That when this is on and when these are on together, and that way I can sort of mellow it out. For if I put on 3, and then sort of do some sort of solo-y high thing. Just a little bit rolls the top off, and then I go to this, and without having to turn it on.
Nice.
So it's an experiment. We'll see how it goes.
All right, so here we go. David from Seattle wants to know, once he saves his tone print from the editor, how can he beam it from the Android app?
Well, right now you can't beam it once you save it in the editor, so it stays on your computer. But we're actually working on a software update where you'll be able to do that. But right now, when you save the tone print, you'll be able to find it alongside all these TC-made templates. At the bottom down here, we have the one that you
Oh,
just
that's
made.
nice.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
So you basically just pick it off the list, and then you can send it to the pedal that way.
Excellent.
So it's coming. The functionality
It
is
is coming,
is
yes.
the
But,
answer.
So
Current-
if it's in your
currently hooked
laptop, how do you get it there? Do you plug it in with a
Yeah,
one of
it's
those things?
basically right now all the stuff we've been doing right now is basically having the pedal hooked up via USB to the laptop.
Okay.
And that's the way you do it. But somewhere down the line, we'll definitely be able to beam it, so you'll be able to find your own tone prints on the iPhone or Android app and just beam it directly into the pedal.
I would just like to know what TonePrints Paul would like. Like what celebs,
Besides, oh, that's nice.
what celeb guitarists would you
I see.
seek out?
I would have to go with either maybe the Robin Trower tone print, if there's one. I mean, just any one of my guitar heroes when I was a kid. You know, just think 1979. So you know, early Van Halen, you know, late Robin Trower, Frank Marino, Alex Lifeson. Those are, you know, everybody's got their 13-year-old guitar heroes, and that's when I was 13.
Excellent. Is there a specific cable that we need to hook up?
Yes.
For the iPad.
For the
specifically.
iPad,
For the
yes,
iPad
that's true.
specifically, yes.
Apple makes something called the camera connection kit, which is basically a way to connect the 30-pin connector that's on the bottom of an iPad to USB. So it's a USB to 30-pin connector adapter. So it's called the camera connection kit.
There you go.
Jim in Kansas City wants to know, does it come with a decent manual?
No, it comes with an awesome manual.
That was an indecent manual. I really love the manual of the Ditto Looper because it's a page about this big.
Yeah.
And that's all it needs. It's that simple.
Yeah, it doesn't do any more than what it says on there.
And so, let's see, Alfred chatted in. He's got a TCE BG250.
That's our bass amp
Yep.
combo.
Excellent. He wants a tone print for another amp too now. Any recommendations?
Did Nathan East do a tone print?
Yep.
There we go. I just did a jam with Nathan. He's awesome. Is that the
He's
amp he
awesome.
uses?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he's using the big, like the blacksmith, I think, as well. But yeah, Nathan East would be a nice one. I would definitely recommend
Nathan's
that.
like, if you haven't heard of him, he's, I mean, besides being one of the most famous bass players in the world, the people that he plays with are like the pillars.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, Clapton and all the famous people.
Phil Collins, Clapton.
I got to do a quick
Shaka
jam with
Khan.
him the other day for my school, and it was unbelievable.
And nicest guy ever.
He's sort of like your pedals because I play better when I play with him. So, I think that's why people hire him. It's like, we get Nathan in the band, and all of a sudden I'm playing better.
And he's doing the same, what's it called, that tutorial thing that you're...
Oh yeah, I have an online school with ArtistWorks, and we
Yeah.
both, he teaches the bass school, I
Yeah.
teach the rock guitar school.
Yeah.
Yeah, feel free to tell people how to find you there too, because we want you to plug that.
Oh yeah, it's online guitar school.
Yeah.
I teach rock. And,
Weird.
Surprise.
and the best thing about it is all my students are getting better.
Yeah.
I can, and the way the school works, I can hear people. We converse back and forth via video, and everybody's sounding really good. So
Yeah, we saw a few examples of it yesterday. It's really cool.
Very
everybody's
cool.
sounding great. We're having a great time. It's called ArtistWorks. Google that, and
Yeah.
I'll come up, and we'll see you there.
Nice.
Very cool. Matt Summers from Long Beach wants to know if we'll be doing a multi-effect with tone print, downloadable sounds.
Ooh, upcoming projects. I really can't talk too much about that, but it, you know, it sounds like a good idea.
Oh, yeah.
Good idea, Matt.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We'll be sure to
So,
give you credit.
wow, real secret on that. There's
Yeah.
nothing. Okay. Is the pedal passive in the signal chain?
By passive, I assume you means to bypass, maybe.
I would venture to guess that.
Yeah. So it, you know, basically, you know, the question is, does it color your sound?
Yeah.
No, it doesn't. It's to bypass, so that means that when you turn it off, it's totally out of the signal chain. There's not a single component in there, so it's jack cable to jack cable, or quarter inch, I think you call it over here.
Quarter inch, yeah.
Okay, sorry, that's a Danish word. The other thing is that the pedal has something called analog drive-through, and that means that even when the pedal is on, the dry guitar signal is actually passing through the pedal analog, so it doesn't get converted, so you don't get latency and coloration and all that stuff. So the analog part is always preserved for the dry signal.
All right. Anthony would like to know from you, Paul, what are the advantages of this reverb over other pedals that you've used?
Sanity. Besides the fact that it sounds great, you know, reverbs can get complicated, and you know, I was lucky to have Tor navigate me through this system, which is as easy as it gets when you do get into the parameters of reverb. But it's really nice to be able to just go, here's a great sound, load it in. It comes with a great sound. I've been using this pedal for the past couple months. The effects with my amp in my studio, and I didn't change anything. I didn't even download.
You just went straight with the
I just went
Paul
straight
right
with
off
the
it?
stock sound it had, and I was totally happy. And now I'm, you know, 15% happier because I got to do some tweaking with Tor. But you know, reverbs can get, you know, you don't want to turn into too much of an engineer, you know, unless you're, you can go there if you want, but you can also just be a guitar player and go like, I love the sound of this. I get to choose a sound that I dug if I want to go a little extra with it, and I've got a knob that makes it go, you know, how much I want, you know,
Just
and get back to the playing.
Pick one room to play in at a time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Are there residual costs once you purchase this? Is there any charge for updates or anything like that?
No, updates are free. All the TonePrints software stuff is free. So the app is free, the editor is free, all the artist TonePrints are free. Free, free, free.
That's very important. Everybody's looking for something free. All right, Paul, what brand of 9-volt batteries do you prefer?
That must be an Eric Johnson question.
Right,
The
do you
legend
have
of the brand of 9-volt battery.
constantly dying special brand
Well, the
batteries?
serious answer to that is I have a power supply for my pedals called a Voodoo Labs Pedal Power 2 Plus, which is really, really awesome. And ever since I started using that, I've been hum-free, and I take it to all different, you know, I've got one for America, which is 120 volts, the European version when I go to tour over there, I've got the Japanese version when I go over there, and it really is a lifesaver.
So no experimentation with starving the
So
energy of your
it
pedals?
allows me to not have any 9-volt batteries at all, so I prefer the ones that are made out of thin air.
So Jim wants to know, we didn't see you tune all the strings at the same time. Is that a separate product?
It is.
Yes, it is. It's a tuner pedal called Polytune. So it basically works, you strum all the strings, and that allows you to see all the pitch of the individual strings all at once. And if you go like, oh, the A string is flat, then you can tune that either in the polyphonic mode or you can tune it in regular chromatic mode, and it's going to switch between those two. It's something that has to be seen to be understood.
You believe.
Super cool pedal.
That as well, yeah.
All right, so we are out of questions and we are out of time. We have one specific winner of our contest.
Excellent.
First off, what was the correct answer?
Correct answer is 80 TonePrint artists.
Doug Williams has won with a guess of 88.
All
He was the
right.
closest.
Cool.
Close enough for
And,
rock and roll.
Good job.
I was going to
that's
guess
it, right?
666.
A nice holy number.
I would have
sure.
lost. All right, but eventually there will be. Should I sign this for?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Please do.
For Mr. Doug Williams.
And we'll send it with your sound in the pedal.
Yeah.
There you go. Oh, that's nice.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
But
There we
thank
go.
you so much for joining us out on the interwebs. We really appreciate it. Thank you, Guitar Center, for having us. If you want to pick up the Hall of Fame Mini, it's on sale right now. It's $109.99, so sweet price point. Get out there, buy one. But now I want to hear Paul play, take us out, and thank you so much for being here,
All
Paul.
right, I'm going to step on my ditto looper one more time.
Behind me here I've lined up all our TonePrint enabled pedals. A couple of years ago we released the TonePrint series to the world, and the TonePrint concept, which basically were allowing famous guitar players to design their own custom pedals and then allowing you, the users, to download those sounds and put them into your own TonePrint pedals, was a huge success around the world. Along with that came tons and tons of requests on forums, Facebook channels, you name it, from our users saying, can we please get the TonePrint editor for ourselves? And well, that day has come now. The TonePrint editor, in a nutshell, allows you to customize your own delay pedal, your own reverb pedal, your own chorus pedal, and so on, exactly the way you like it. So you can change tons of hidden parameters inside the pedal. You can customize the knob settings, what the knobs do, and pretty much anything to design your customized dream pedal.